Hey, this is Max, student of priceactiontrading.system.com, and today is Friday, August 20th, and this will be the chart lesson for today. All uphill today. Um, Get a strong trend up, close outside, new high, and now we're pretty much just kind of going sideways. I'd say this trading range would probably end up like that. Um, Friday's late, usually you don't get a lot of movement, so I'm only going to talk about the trades till about this last good one that I saw. I'm not a fan of trading very late, especially on Fridays, so we'll keep it short and sweet today. Uh, yeah, so there was no gap today. If you go look at yesterday's trading, we were basically inside of that already, so it was kind of hard to tell where the actual trend line was. I'm a very big proponent of using this tool to kind of, see what other potential there is. I know Mac had it like that in his mid-morning chart, but a lot of times you can split the difference here when you're not sure. So to me, it tends to fit right here off of that close, that close, that close, and then it fits really nicely there. So that's how I saw it, and I think it fits pretty good off of the top too. I don't know why this keeps moving, but right there you get a touch, another touch, another touch. So it looks pretty good. But yeah, uphill today. I thought I'd try to do something a little interesting for students who are maybe not as experienced. I marked a couple orange circles here, and so in addition to the correct rules and entries and blue and green trades, I'm gonna have some orange trades that I basically think I want to explain like why you wouldn't take that trade. So it kind of looks like a good trade, but there's reasons that we wouldn't take that, and I'll explain those. And I think that would be kind of cool, and people will appreciate that. So without further ado, let's get into the lesson. So like I said, all uphill. Pretty easy to see this trend early. You got, this small term channel here, close outside new high, and then two legs back, and then your second swing starts there. Um, and so 5 a.m. Pacific Standard Time was right around here, and I mean, you can tell that after this two legs back, we're probably in an uptrend. And if we're in a range, um, oops, if we were in a range, you still got a lot of room to these highs up here. So you're looking for longs. Um, and I put that there because we're going to talk about this orange trade in a little bit. So you have a new low here, two legs back. So you think this is a trend line. And then you get a first entry short, pulling up. And then you get a second entry short that ticks lower by one, closes on its high, go long there on the engulfing bar, or even when this bar closes, we are going higher. Great trade and a runner, and you are probably done there. Um, and so here's our first orange trade. Now, if you came in, you're not completely sure if it's not going to be a trading range. So if you have that like that, right? People would be potentially looking for a short, right, off of a lower high, and that's where we have this here, this orange one. Oops. But let's just move that. We have this short-term trend line here that's really, really strong. So more than likely, we're going to get a retest of that. And we shot through the overnight highs. So that's why it's an aggressive trade. You could argue for it to be green if you're an advanced trader, but in my opinion, you need to be disciplined and wait to get on with the trend in the longs and the retest of this short-term channel rather than take this lower high because we might fade back into the range because we didn't check up there at all really. Well, I guess we did a little bit, but you have to go with the bias, and at this point the bias is really up. So just remove that and look for longs. And so we have a new high here. We get a first entry long. We pull back. We pull back. We get congestion. Here's a second entry long, and I have it marked green just because there's congestion there. But the reason I like it is because it's a trap. You got right here, you got people getting fooled thinking that it's a trap to the longs, and people get trapped one tick lower on a failed failure, and they get trapped. And so going long there, you more than likely are going to get a scalp, and that's a really nice trade. There is congestion though, and it's pretty aggressive. So that's why I have it marked green. Um, the better trade, and still not a great trade, is right here. Notice that new low. Pull back first entry, then you're pulling back. Failed second entry short. The only thing is this would be your signal bar, this green one, and so how many people are going to get tricked on that bullish bar? So you might get tricked. So it's really aggressive, but it is a failed second entry short. We're in an uptrend. We're looking to retest this high. You might take that trade. Um, so from there, we're going up. We get two legs back, but you get this bar, then you get an inside bar, then you get another inside bar, and you don't really know. Just not a great setup. If I don't know, I just don't like it. So you just gotta wait. Then we go up. We make this the second leg up really strongly. So draw your trend line there and see if you have a additional trend line within a layered trend line within this blue one. And notice here you get a high, pull back first entry, and pull back second entry. Now we're looking for a retest of the short-term channel, but we're not back to the EMA and it's congestive. So it is a second entry. It isn't looking like a very strong uptrend. So you might take that one. I feel like the better trade is right here when you get two legs back and confirmation of this, layered channel, and that's a great trend, a great trade. Look at that go. Then you're coming up, you get a close outside of the short-term yellow channel, but also you bounce right off that midline. So if you drew this right and you did what I did and kind of split the difference between this and that and didn't have it as off of this low, that midline looks good and it's a second entry in a strong uptrend and it is a triple test. Notice that low, tested it once, tested it twice. Look at that rejection. Go long there. I don't know. This probably should be green. The only thing I don't like is it is at the midline. We did touch the upper side twice, but if you understand that we're probably going to get a retest of this yellow channel and it's a really strong trend and it's off of the midline and you trust it, take that trade. All right. Oh, we got another orange one here. Okay, so this is a second entry long. It's with the trend, but the reason I wouldn't take this is because signal bar is not that great. Um, we already had a retest of this yellow channel, and there's acceptance at the EMA, which you don't really want to see. So notice this new high, first entry, pulling back, and then we close right at the EMA. That's acceptance, and that can be very dangerous. You want to see strong rejection. And so I think it's better to just wait there and see if you get a higher low. And sure enough, we get people thinking that picking the tops, right? Thinking this thing's going to reverse, thinking that this is a failure. You get a higher low that traps these guys that went in on this bar and then closes on its high. That's a fantastic trade. Take that one. Then we get this correction trend, and notice how all of these corrections are so shallow. Um, you got this one, you got this one, you got this one. They're all kind of going sideways. They're not really getting a new low in place. Um, you can tell this is a strong trend. So that's when you want to be a little more aggressive or trust the second entries more or trust strong signal bars at key entry points or off of the EMA. It's all about the context of what's going on. And so at that point, we're in a strong trend. So we're only looking for longs. So we get this correction here, close outside new low, but we're not really at the key entry point. But finally, we get in a strong trend a bounce right off of what I would think is the trend line. and it is a hidden second entry. Notice that high, pull back, first entry. You got two legs back, one, two, and so it's a hidden second entry. It's right off of the key entry point, confirming it. Strong signal bar. I like that. So here I made the resistance line yellow because while you do want to be cognizant of it, it's within a strong uptrend. We're more concerned with the support rather than the resistance. Like you don't want to go long right into it, but more than likely we're gonna work through that. So look for strong signal bars off of the support, and that's a great hidden second entry, strong signal bar off the key entry point with the bias, strong uptrend. That's a good trade. So you get two legs up, and then this right here is a second entry as well. Notice this new high, pull back first entry, pull back second entry. Even though we get a close outside, more than likely we're going to make a new high. You do got to be a little careful of the resistance, which would have been here, oh, right there. But you know, we got room up there to make it, so I like that. It does tick higher, but it's still two legs back, one leg, two legs back, and you get a new high. We don't quite make a new high of this channel, so we're still looking for second entries. And notice this new high, pull back first entry, pulling back second entry. Look at the support, made that low, tested it once, tested it twice, and strong bullish bar and uptrend. That's a great trade. Take it, and you catch a runner there. There's two ways to look at this one. I'm not sure if the green channel was correct, or I'll show you the other channel, or this one here. But either way, for the trades that I have marked, there it still works out the same way. So we'll just go with this one. It's a breakout pullback, so notice we break out of the yellow weak resistance, right? And we test it from the top. And this is it doesn't tick lower, but it acts like a second entry. You got one leg back, you go up, and it goes all the way down. It doesn't tick lower, but it closes on its high. You might go long there, you know, based on the bias of a strong uptrend. And so that's a good trade. Here's our last orange one, and maybe some people would look at this as a failed second entry, short, but if you did that, you got burned, and I'll kind of explain how you could have avoided that. So notice this new low, first entry, then you're going up, and then second entry in a strong trend. But what you have to understand is the market moves in twos, right? So one, one, two, and then one up. So one, two up. We're going to probably get two legs of correction. One, two back. So you have to wait for the two legs. So if you got burned there on that failed second entry, hopefully you understand what I'm talking about with two legs up for look. So look for two legs back, which is one, two legs back. And even then, okay, so let's remove that. The orange one is why you wouldn't want to take that trade. Oh, and actually still worked. I thought people got stopped out, but it still works. But the better thing to do is, like I said, wait on the two legs back. This kind of confirms this trend line right here, and it's a strong uptrend. We are far away from the EMA, and you are going long at the high of the day, but you don't know if traders are going to come in and make you a winner, or if traders are going to come in, trick you, and then go back to the EMA. You have to take the gamble, or you have to assess the gamble yourself. And I like it. It's aggressive, but more than likely based on the uptrend and everything that's going on and trusting this channel, you're probably going to get a scalp, and you do. So I didn't mark anything after that. That's when I stopped trading. And it's just chopping around. Like I said, it came back. Look, came back to test this resistance, right? Because we broke out, tested it once, twice. That might be a good trade you can argue for. But yeah, short and sweet today, all uphill. A lot of great second entries, a lot of good setups at the key entry point. Nothing too difficult. Hopefully everybody had a great trading day and a great trading week. I'm gonna wrap it up. I'll see you guys next Friday.